we can punch through 25,000 and get above that level, there's a straight shot to 30,000. Now, the reason 30,000 is going to be so important is because in the 2021 cycle, that was the midpoint low in 2021 when we fell from 65 back to 30,000. We then rallied to 69,000 before the bigger collapse in the bear market. So psychologically, that midpoint, if we can retrace and get back above 30, that to me would kind of solidify that the lows are in on the cryptocurrencies in Bitcoin, for instance. I'm not sold that we're in the lows yet. I still think that there's some nervous issues out there that the market has to resolve, but 30,000 being recaptured would put that to rest.
Chief market strategist Gareth Soloway has been an avid swing and day trader since 20 years. Gareth's goal is to help average investors beat the best hedge funds and traders on Wall Street by teaching them the methodology and giving them his trades. According to Gareth Soloway, if we can retrace and get back above $30,000, that would solidify that the lows are in for crypto. He said in his interview, "I still think that there are some nervous issues out there the market has to resolve, but $30,000 being recaptured would put that to rest." Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies were rising on Monday as the market higher in digital assets continued despite a quiet day in the stock market, with investors away from Wall Street for the President's Day holiday. The US dollar index, despite being broadly inversely correlated with stocks and crypto, also took a hit at the open, dropping to 103.77 before rebounding. Corrections remain to be relatively shallow. I think that we'll continue the run towards $35,000 to $40,000 before we'll have a harsh correction, maybe even to $20,000 to $25,000. Maximize profits, start allocating towards US dollar, and the higher we come. Buy on the correction in second half of 2023.
Great new narrative that can help Bitcoin ultimately attract new buyers. I'm a little concerned about the price action up here. We obviously are at the key 25,000 level. I think it's been 6 days in a row we've kind of hammered on 25,000 and pulled back each time. So you can tell that the crypto market is looking for that next catalyst. And again, the big question is, in spite of interest rates going up, the dollar gaining strength, is there a catalyst that can push it over? I think this narrative out of Hong Kong could be something that helps it, but again, we have to wait and see. Yeah, my favorite personally is the upcoming regulation in the US. And I know everyone's scared of that. I mean, could they make it bad regulation? Do they over-regulate? But I think that the only way you get the big money, the institutional money to really commit to crypto and Bitcoin is to give clarity. And I think if we get clarity, then that can be the new bull market. In fact, that's the next bull market that I think happens in crypto, is where you have big funds, big institutions starting to really put significant money in cryptocurrencies.
Gareth Soloway, chief market strategist at Verified Investing, says the China narrative continues to be what's attracting new Bitcoin buyers. Retail traders in Hong Kong have accessed crypto assets on unlicensed exchanges, and an access to licensed platforms would mark a big step up in efforts to attract crypto businesses to the special administrative region. Regulators are working on a list of approved tokens and risk profiling. This implies even after doors are open for institutional crypto traders and cryptocurrency service providers, Hong Kong will most likely be a walled garden of virtual assets. The price of Bitcoin has risen 1.5% over the past 24 hours to above $24,900, having spiked above $25,100 in the peak of recent trading. The largest digital asset remains around its highest level since last June amid a rally that has carried it some 50% higher to start 2023, though Bitcoin continues to change hands well below its late 2021 high near $69,000.
I think the regulatory nervousness that's sweeping across kind of U.S. investors is keeping us on our toes, right? So you'll talk about what happened with Kraken and the SEC, and then you look at various other question marks on the Ripple case, when that's going to be resolved. And these are things that obviously are big hurdles for the crypto markets to get through. So for the most part, I think that's a key. I think also the fact that we've seen interest rates on the 10-year starting to really spike higher, it's giving investors a potential alternative to cryptocurrency and even stocks. That's also a headwind, along with the US dollar gaining a little traction lately. The Golden Cross shows a change in trend. So the trend has now started to turn up in the near term, which is definitely a positive thing. The one thing investors should be looking at is the weekly 200 moving average. That's right at this 25,000 level. So not only are we struggling at the previous high from, I believe, June, it was the highest point since we made the low of this cycle was in June at 25,000. So we're struggling at that level. Can we break through it? Then you throw into the mix the 200 weekly moving average, and it definitely is a hurdle. But either way, to see the trend change is a short-term positive for crypto.
On the technical chart, Bitcoin has just confirmed a golden cross for the first time in more than a year. This means that Bitcoin's 50-day simple moving average has just moved past its 200-day SMA. The formation of the golden cross during the last bear market of 2019 resulted in a 154% price rally in the Bitcoin price. If the same thing repeats, we could see Bitcoin trading at more than $57,000 this year in 2023. From a technical standpoint, Bitcoin is currently trading sideways and has been confined to a narrow range between the $24,300 to $25,300 mark. It seems that many investors are waiting for the release of the U.S. Federal Open Market Committee meeting minutes before making any major moves. U.S. stocks fell on Wednesday after investors pored over the minutes of the Federal Reserve's last meeting, which indicated that most central bankers backed its recent quarter-point increase, but some favored a bigger rise. In New York, the blue-chip S&P 500 index lost 0.2%, and the tech-heavy Nasdaq Composite gains 0.1%, pairing earlier gains from before the release of the minutes.
Near term, I'm a little hesitant. I want to see if it can break through this 25 and 30,000 level. So I'm actually slightly bearish at this current point until proven otherwise. Long term, I'm a huge advocate for Bitcoin. I think the market, the economy, the world needs Bitcoin as an alternative to fiat currencies and obviously an alternative to gold as well.
Prediction end of year forecast?
End of year, I would say 20,000.
As long as the Bitcoin price remains above the indicators, traders should continue to approach the peer-to-peer digital currency with a bullish bias. After Bitcoin's New Year rally pushed it up by 48%, whale transactions worth $1 million or higher have stayed above the 7-day average, suggesting that profit-taking is certainly on the agenda for Bitcoin holders. Bitcoin has an unthinkable property. It gets more valuable over time. Value stored in Bitcoin becomes worth more over time because of Bitcoin's design of increasing scarcity. You just have to outlast the volatility along the way. What are your thoughts on Gareth Soloway's prediction about Bitcoin and other digital assets' performance in 2023? Do you expect these assets to perform beyond investors' expectations? Let us know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video and found the content valuable, it's a great idea to show your appreciation by liking the video and subscribing to the channel.